Hey, what's up, y'all? At it again up at Clark State. Not like always. But anyway, I just got up here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. A deer. I might have to, like when I post this video, might have to make the video larger. But yeah. Yep. Right there. That little brown spot. Hi, baby. Yeah. Yeah, that one right there. I love coming up here. This is so peaceful. This is like my little getaway. Coming up here, because I live the Sunset Hills Apartments, and it's right across the street from me. It's a little hike. Not too much of a hike, but it's a little hike. Where did she go? Did she go high? Where did she go? This is... But yeah, it's a really neat place to come up to. And I got a story time to tell you, some tea. But anyway, came up here Friday evening to walk around, do my little cardio. And so anyway, two of the staff members, which they are custodial workers, cleaners. So anyway, I was up here minding my business, and where she got? She must have took off in the woods. But anyway, the route I usually take is like where Clark State hasn't made. Well, okay, I come up to Clark State, which is on the East Levels Lane here in Springfield, and that's the main campus. But anyway, there's another school just right over here called Shoal Hall. They offer other classes. I'm not for sure what they offer, but long story short, I was cutting through where Shoal Hall was, walking through the back. But I mean, they have it fenced off to where you can't go in. I mean, I'll show it to you in another video, but I think I did. I think I have it in a video before. Might have to go back and look, but anyway. So these two custodians pulled up in a truck, had me cornered. Okay, questioned me, talking about, "Oh, you live around here?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" Didn't tell them where I lived at. I just said, "Yeah, I live around here. Why?" But so anyway, the driver proceeded to tell me I was trespassing on private property. That was not allowed out there on Clark State property. Okay. Remind you, Clark State Community College is public domain. That's why I've always been told by the police, the sheriff, and the staff. Okay. So, PPC's going on and on and on. Doing the passenger side, ain't saying excuse my language, but he ain't saying shit. But anyway, I'm up here at the putting green looking for golf balls. But anyway, I've been coming up here for years, just walking. Ain't none in there. Okay, but anyway, been coming up here for years. Okay. They have a tennis court where you can play tennis and pickleball. And so anyway, they have like this little outdoor workout thing you can do. So anyway, I wasn't doing anything. So I proceeded to tell him, look, excuse my language, but there's somebody out here walking. Okay. So I got to proceed to tell this idiot. Okay, well at least the passenger kept his mouth closed. Good looking out. But anyway, so the driver proceeds to tell me, oh, you ain't supposed to be up here. This is private property. You're trespassing. Okay. I looked at him and I said, first of all, I've been coming up here for years to walk on the little mile marker sidewalks and stuff. Okay. Second of all, staff ain't said nothing to me about not being able to come up there. Okay. It's been a few days. Haven't been out walking, but so anyway, I got to proceed to telling him. I says many times I talked to staff, many times I've been up here through here, not just to walk, but to cut through to go to Dollar Tree, to go to Loveless Lane, because Loveless Lane got like a laundromat, like a little, I don't know what you want to call it. I wouldn't really call it like a shopping center, but it has like a tax place, a laundromat, Goodwill. If you walk down further and step to another building where Dollar Tree is, and so anyway, me and my neighbor usually cut through here because it's quicker and easier to get to Dollar Tree faster. So anyway, like I was saying, I proceeded to tell him, I said, I've been coming up here for years, staff ain't said nothing to me about it, the police ain't said nothing, neither has the sheriff's department. And I told him what the police said and the sheriff said. Oh, it's public property. You're allowed up here. You're allowed to walk. You're allowed to walk. You're allowed to use the tennis courts. You're allowed to use the gym. Well, the outdoor, I think I have it in the video on my channel. It's like a little workout thing, whatever it's called. But anyway, so when I told him that, dude's attitude changed. Okay? Well, since they say you can be up here. No, it's not really about the staff who said anything. It was the police department and the sheriff's department. They said, yeah, you're allowed up here. No problem. Don't look like you did anything wrong. But walk. I said, okay. So, dude backs up. He proceeds to back up, turn around, and go. And then he looks at me before he did that. He's like, well, I was told we're supposed to come out and check shit. Go check yourself. So Monday, tomorrow, I will be calling Clark State to inform them about Friday, about how the custodians had me cornered in a vehicle, just because I was taking a certain way home. So yeah, they can get in trouble for that because they're not supposed to say nothing to you. On right there, but the fountains ain't on and stuff. But yeah, I just took the back way. I took another way up here. Yeah, so I'm gonna be calling tomorrow and letting them know, like, hey, I was harassed. They had me cornered, telling me I was trespassing. Saying I'm not allowed up here. So I said, okay, so if I was trespassing, where's the no trespassing signs at? Huh? Can't hear you, what? Where is the no trespassing signs at? And that was the night. The police wasn't even up here. So I was telling my neighbor, because me and my neighbor come up through here a lot. Not all the time, but sometimes. And many times, like I said, long times, we don't walk past the sheriff and the police, and they ain't said nothing to us. Yeah, okay. Right. So I told my neighbor what happened. Then I was telling another friend what happened. He's like, you can't do that. He's like, dude can't do that. He's not allowed to do that. He's like, there's no trespassing signs up there. He looked at me, he said, you know how many times we've been up there walking? And we don't walk past the police, staff, and whatever. I was like, yeah, I know. He's like, he even said, there's a sign right here, it says danger, no ice skating, swimming, fishing, or rock throwing. Okay, that sign right there doesn't look like it says no trespassing. Being a smart butt. But anyway, yeah, so even my friend even said, he's like, call him. He's like, call up there tomorrow, ask who you can talk to, explain your situation, and go from there. And last time I had talked to a sheriff, I think the dude was a deputy sheriff, I don't know, but he worked for the sheriff's department. And this is about a year or so ago. And I played Pokemon Go. Yes, I played Pokemon Go. Don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me. But anyway, told the sheriff, I said, yeah, I was like, I come up here, get my little cardio on, and I mind my business. And I looked at him, I said, you heard of Pokemon Go, right? He goes, yeah. And I was up here playing my game that day. And I showed it to him. Showed him the map of where the stops are up here. He goes, okay. So we got to talking, conversating, and I asked him, I said, hey, do you need my information to run me through? He's like, no. He's like, you ain't doing nothing wrong. He's like, I appreciate you being honest and willing to get called through. I said, yeah. I said, well, I got nothing going on my record anyway. I said, you wouldn't find nothing active anyway. But I said, you might hear about my police record. I said, you might hear what I had on there, but other than that, I don't have anything, ongoing or anything active. But I told him, I said, well, I told the sheriff, I said, look, I'd rather be, if I get stopped by police or sheriff, I said, or state highway patrol, I told him, I said, I'd rather say, hey, do you need to run my information through, for routine stop or whatever? They're like, oh, no, you good. I'd ask anyway, because it's just like because it just shows that you are complying with them, and they say, hey, you run me through, I don't care, I can give you my info. Not a big deal. I tell them all the time, I was like, I ain't got nothing going on. And laugh about it, but yeah, I just want to share that little tea. But I'll be back on here tomorrow. More likely tomorrow after I call Clark State and find out, what they're going to do about it. So, I just, there's no harm, no foul. It was just, I just don't understand why, after all these years, they would stop me and question me. But it's all good though. But like I said, dude's attitude changed when I mentioned the police and sheriff's department said I can be up here, because they said as long as Clark State Community College doesn't turn into a university, and they said Clark State is not a university, so therefore I'm allowed up here. And then, so I'm good. I'm back up here tonight. Took a break yesterday, came up here tonight. But anyway, love, peace, and hair grease, y'all. I love y'all. Happy Sunday. And be kind and generous to people. All right? Love y'all.